It's time for the moment you've been waiting for. Da, 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 da.
Stupid!
I forgot the name of the group. It's Lost with Gordon.
Yes.
Okay. My name is Cleveland Brown, and I'm a
He's singing. Okay, we preheated the oven and it's getting ready. So we're gonna get started soon.
To make our banana bread, you need to preheat the oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit or about 177 degrees Celsius. You also need 220 grams of flour, 130 grams of sugar, 9.2 grams of baking powder, 5.5 grams of baking soda, 1.4 grams of salt, 75 grams of butter, 30 milliliters of milk, and 2 eggs. In a medium mixing bowl, combine 1 cup of the flour, your sugar, the baking powder, baking soda, and salt. Peel 2 to 3 bananas and mash them with a fork in a small bowl. Add this to the mixture. Add the butter and the milk. Now mix the batter with a wooden spoon. Now for a little chemistry lesson. Banana bread is a raised or leavened bread. Its unique characteristics are products of complex interactions between flour and the leaveners in this recipe. Leaveners come in 2 main forms, baking powder or baking soda, and yeast. In this recipe, we use baking powder and baking soda. Breads that aren't made with yeast are called quick breads because they do not require the anaerobic environment yeast requires to produce carbon dioxide. Baking soda and baking powder work very quickly and rely on chemical reactions between substances of varying pHs to produce carbon dioxide, aka the air bubbles you see in bread. Flour is a mixture of carbohydrates and starches, which the leaveners react with to form carbon dioxide. When in contact with water, proteins in flour, gliadin and glutenin, form a tough elastic substance called gluten. This gluten can easily trap the carbon dioxide gases and form the air bubbles in bread. This chemical equation shows the products of the decomposition of sodium bicarbonate, or baking soda. What's the difference between baking soda and baking powder? Baking powder is essentially a mixture of sodium bicarbonate and a weak solid acid or acid salt. We use more baking powder in this recipe than we do baking soda because of baking soda's production of more alkaline substances, which are neutralized by the baking powder's acidity. We use salt in this recipe because salt strengthens the glutens by slowing down the enzymes which catalyze the breakdowns of proteins. Fat, in the form of eggs and butter in this recipe, gives a softer texture and helps prevent the carbon dioxide bubbles from escaping too soon. When you're finished mixing, add the remaining flour and 2 eggs. Then mix well. Why do bananas get brown? Well, before bananas are disturbed, they're green. But when they are picked, are bruised, or receive insect damage, small amounts of the chemical ethylene is naturally produced, which activates enzymes in the fruit. These enzymes break down the pectin in the banana and soften it. As ripening progresses, more ethylene gas is produced. The pores in the peel of the banana widen, and the skin becomes very thin. Make sure your pan is greased.
Okay, that's enough. Jesus Christ, stop, stop!
Pour the batter into a pan that fits, and put it in the oven for 55 to 60 minutes.